Greetings everyone, welcome back, and today I have a pretty cool video. Well, I think I'm showing you a pretty cool truck which I want, but I'll get there in a second. I went to San Francisco to this coffee shop. I got an email saying that there was gonna be an exhibition to show the truck, so here I am making my way to the coffee shop. And before I talk about the truck, I also want to show you the coffee shop because it was not what I expected. They have this beautiful motorcycle, as you can see over here. And let me show you the sticker though. So if you want to visit in the future, I'm also gonna add the address. So if you want, in case you want to go, they have these cool stickers. And here's the menu. So I'm quickly gonna show you the menu. I'm just gonna order a cappuccino and but yeah, so I'm here at the exhibition because I want to showcase. I want this truck. I personally want this truck. Would love to have it. And let me tell you a little bit. So before we look into the truck itself, let's talk about what Slate actually is, because this is a company, and I'm just gonna walk around and show you what they have. They have this Japanese truck, and then in the back they have other beautiful cars. But yeah, so the company is doing pretty something pretty cool, I would say, different from most automakers. So there's a brand new electric vehicle startup, but the entire idea is built around simplifying cars instead of adding more technology. And that's kind of unusual right now. So I'm showing you right now that pretty much how the website shows. Like, if you want to go, you should do it. But if you look into the car industry, every year vehicles are getting more complicated, more expensive, and so on. So there's huge touch screens. You have to subscribe to different features, and then advanced driver assistance systems, and so on. So some of those things are pretty cool to have, but the price goes up because of those features. So right now, the average new car costs about $48,000, which is hella crazy. But if you think about it, a lot of people just want something simple, reliable, and affordable, and just to get around. And that is exactly the gap the Slate is trying to fill. Their philosophy is basically that, what if we built the simplest possible electric vehicle and then let people customize it however they want. This is actually what they say. So instead of selling a fully loaded truck, they sell a base platform. So think of it like like a canvas that you can make the truck that you want. And I'm showing you around how, like, some of the features that they're selling. Some of them are funny, other ones are pretty cool. So, the truck starts extremely simple. So it's very minimal interior, basic screens, and it has no unnecessary luxury features. But the idea is that owners can add accessories, upgrades, and modifications over time. So instead of forcing you to buy everything up front, you can build a truck that you want. Kind of like how people modify Jeeps or like classic cars or even Land Cruisers. But honestly, from a car enthusiast's perspective, the idea is pretty interesting to me because modern vehicles are becoming harder and harder to modify. So it's mostly because of software, and then like very often the companies lock the software, so it's very difficult to work on those. So everything now requires proprietary systems, but Slate is trying to go the opposite direction, creating something more like customizable. So now other big idea behind Slate is that you know they want to reduce the complexity of things. So fewer parts, fewer trims, more standardized components, I would say. So that makes the production cheaper. And when production is cheaper, theoretically, hypothetically speaking, the price of the vehicle can stay lower. And if they pull this off, it could make electric vehicles much more affordable to, the regular people. Because right now, EVs are still pretty expensive. And currently, for example, the state of California, they're not providing an incentive anymore for you to buy like an EV because it was removed. I think before in the past, it used to be about 7,500. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But another interesting thing about Slate is how they're positioning their truck. This is not meant to compete with like something like 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 a Ford F-150 or like a Rivian. Those trucks are huge. They're powerful. They're luxury vehicles. Slate is going totally different. They're more small. It's a lightweight utility truck. If you think about it, it's simple. It's very functional and very practical, almost like kind of those compact trucks we used to get decades ago. So I said this jokingly, and I was like, it kind of reminds me of an old Tacoma, like the 2000 Tacoma, but maybe this would not land on some people, like land well on some people. So I'm just gonna show you around of like, this is a very simple truck. um but yeah, so just a straightforward truck designed to do work. And small trucks that are basically disappearing in the US market. So this is very exciting to me. Everything has gotten bigger, heavier, more expensive. So Slate is kind of bringing back the idea of a compact, simple truck with an electric powertrain, pretty much. And then there's the design. If you look at the truck, it almost looks pretty retro. It has a flat panels, very simple body lines, and that's not just a styling decision. It's just because it's easier and cheaper to manufacture. But yeah, so the lower is a lower cost, just quickly showing you the truck around, and then eventually, or like at the beginning, they thought that the price was gonna be about 20,000. I don't think that will be the case anymore. So they usually say mid-range, 25,000. So I think that's likely going to be the final like price, from 25 to 30,000. Again, I'm pretty excited. If you're interested in the car, you can actually just make a deposit of $50 to be on the wait list. That's what I did. And I'm looking forward to customize this vehicle to the way that I want. Of course, I need to save up before. But yeah, again, thank you for coming by. Just showing you this beautiful truck, and then have a blissful day. Take care. Peace.